So I've been noticing on the show Bridgerton, which I've been watching, they're wearing massive corsets and big dresses and elaborate costumes that is a reflection of the times. And I'm also watching Boardwalk Empire, which is obviously much later in history, but there's so much clothing, so much layering, and their bras are bigger and their undergarments are bigger. And I'm thinking about how I've talked about Pretty Woman and how that movie with Julia Roberts' outfit, which would be fine right now to wear on a Tuesday night out to dinner in New York City, was only fit for a prostitute. And I'm realizing that as I look at these red carpets in award season at the Grammys and at the Oscars, everybody's wearing nothing. Like now we've gone to next to nothing. You have to dress in a risque way. It seems like some sort of competition. And I don't know why nudity is bad. If you're only going to cover your vagina and your breasts, and why not just go? I mean, where is the line? And it's funny because would you want your daughter to wear like a really short skirt and just nipple covers as an outfit? And where is the actual line? I'm not saying I know where the line is. I'm just saying, and is there an age line, or everyone's supposed to just do whatever they want? So if a 12-year-old or a 14-year-old wants to wear like what I would consider, and I'll probably be canceled, like a slutty dress. There are girls that are preteen that are in like 6th, 7th grade. And I've seen them and they're wearing dresses that women I know that were on the Housewives wear. And I think it's inappropriate. And I know that that's not the same as women on a red carpet that are adults, but I just wonder if that's all they're watching is TikTok and the Grammys and the Oscars and everybody's wearing no clothes. How are we supposed to ask that our daughters aren't wearing basically no clothes, half tops, crop tops, basically bikinis to school? I just want to know the answer. So that I find is interesting. And in thinking about wardrobe, I'm seeing that people are dressing like each other. It's happening more with the group of the Kim and Pete and Courtney and Travis and Megan Fox and her guy that she's with from, I don't know his name, but Machine Gun Kelly. But these women used to dress more in a sexy, provocative, fashionable way, and you're seeing them mold into the people they're in relationships with. So what is that called? When one person, Pete Davidson isn't dressing like Kim Kardashian. He's not wearing like tight man Metro jeggings and a tight fashionable Versace t-shirt. Pete Davidson's dressing like Pete Davidson, but Kim is dressing more like Pete Davidson. Kim is wearing more of like a street vibe now, like street chic, bomber jacket, sneakers, and, eating pizza and doing, very, very local street type Staten Island things. So she's becoming more him than the opposite. And interesting because she was becoming more of Kanye's muse too, the whole way. Admittedly by her, he is largely responsible for her fashion evolution. So she's sort of folding into what he deemed to be high fashion and the worlds of Vogue and Anna Wintour and really high fashion designers, and that he took her away from wearing all the Hervé Leger and took her more into Balmain, I don't know how to pronounce it, Balmain and Balenciaga and Givenchy and more esoteric, avant-garde, elevated fashion brands. And now Courtney's in a relationship with Travis. Courtney wasn't dressing like Scott. Scott dresses very bling. Scott Disick, I'm talking about. He wears like big blinged out Patek Philippe's, and he also will wear like a polished suit, and he's also got his own sort of streetwear vibe. But Courtney was dressing like her sexy self, like a sexy fashion self. Always was sexy, but now Courtney's dressing really more like her hair's darker, her makeup's darker, her vibe's darker. She's more edgy, she's more rocker chick. The whole, they're dressing like they're one, like they're in costume. But Travis isn't dressing like Courtney. He's not doing the same thing. He's not wearing like tight leather pants and being in the high fashion world. He's staying to be the rocker. So she's folding into his style. Similarly, Megan Fox too, folding into Machine Gun Kelly style. Her makeup, her vibe has changed. And it's interesting because Courtney, as I think about it, when she was with Scott or other people, she wasn't fully like making out, like tongue, going in circles on red carpets. So what is it? Addison Rae, she's posting videos with her guy, putting the finger up, like everybody's very irreverent. So what does that mean when the women fold into what the man is? Like they're just gravitating to what the man is. It's very interesting. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it's called anything. I don't know if it's some sort of rebellious phase, but it is something. What do you think? Also, they're still talking about the Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, Chris Rock situation. There has to be a time when the tide turns. I mean, you can't, we've done this with so many people. We've done this with so many famous people that have gotten into trouble. And I don't mean at like the Mach 5 level, because I do not think Will Smith is Harvey Weinstein, right? I mean, at the level where it's not great, the Brian Williams level, the Nick Cannon level, the Chrissy Teigen level, the I'm sure one day me level, so I was fully invested in talking about it when it happened and what it meant, and that it absolutely wasn't great. But now Will said, punish me however I'm supposed to be punished. I'm no longer part of the academy. What's supposed to happen? Do we turn a corner? Because you can't just keep beating a dead horse. Everybody thinks it was wrong. Will Smith thinks it was wrong. Jada, but everyone's now what's interesting is everyone's now coming for Jada. The pendulum swings. Everybody was coming for Will. Okay. She needs to be defended. He thought she needed to be defended. And I'm thinking, what the hell? A woman doesn't need to be defended. She can handle it on her own. She thinks it's wrong what he did. Okay. But Jada's the villain. Jada had an open relationship. Jada humiliated Will. They talked about it on Red Table Talk. It seemed emasculating and absolutely humiliating. And everybody was in their relationship now. And so everybody is coming after her. But my question is, he stayed with her. It takes two to tango. They're both in a relationship. They've both decided to be in the relationship. So why is it all her? I just want to know. Maybe she's terrible. I don't know her. I did her show once. She was very nice. Maybe she's terrible, but you can't give all the blame to one person in this situation if he's chosen to stay. Meaning, if he chose to leave, and then we're going to look at the pieces where they fell because these two individuals are public figures and have chosen to involve the world in their public life, that's different. But they're in a relationship. So when two people, let's put it this way. If I'm in a partnership with someone in business and something goes wrong, we own it together. So they're partners. They own this together. They own the open relationship together. They own the airing the dirty laundry together. They own the whatever tension underlies and the contention behind that slap. They own it all together. So just let's not blame only one person. You want to blame both? Great. But there will be a time when we should actually move on, I think. I'm all for a mea culpa. And listen, it could be any of us. And that's why we all know this. And we're all always a little scared. And that's why when someone else gets the beat down, we all jump on and want to have an opinion about it. And great, we have an opinion about it, but we got to let it rinse, because the truth is it could absolutely be me. I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I probably have said something in the last 10 minutes that you think is inappropriate. It's impossible to be perfect. So you're going to be on a car ride and something's going to spill. So when is it going to happen? But it will be all of us in one way or another, publicly, in our friend group, at your cul-de-sac, at your school, your PTA, your country club. It's going to be you. It will not be at a 10 level with any luck, but you have to know that people in glasses can't throw stones, because it will be one of us. Chris Rock said he does not provide his jokes to the Academy. So while the Academy is taking a beat down, one of their lashings should be taken away from them, because they did not know about the Chris Rock joke about G.I. Jane. So the Academy can't be blamed for that provoking moment. And comedians do want to protect their material, and they get lists of what cannot be spoken about. So they then try to get away with whatever they can. So maybe that should be something in the future at the Academy Awards, that people can't just go rogue. Every joke has to be written out before. Let me know what you all think. Spicy stuff. So I've been thinking about TikTok and how individuals are these mini reporters. Hi, thanks, guys. Thank you, because I have this platform. You've given me this platform. And I wonder a couple of things. One is, so some people 2 years ago were nobodies, and now they're famous. They're quote unquote TikTok famous. So most people don't know who they are, but there are so many people on TikTok that a lot of people do think they know who they are. And they are celebrities in this one space, and it expands, like a Charlie D'Amelio or an Addison Rae and other people. It's Jason Derulo. I think he's way more famous on TikTok than he is at music. I think. Don't get mad, but I think so. So it expands. So now I'm seeing a lot of these people that had an authenticity, they're getting branded, they're getting paid, and they just don't seem the same. And that happens also in Hollywood. Okay, so it's fine. But in these weird other little genres of uh making art out of coffee filters. You're a vintage button expert. I mean, I'm people have these niche things that they're good at, and they're very self-involved in a way that doesn't, it seems delusional. Like, thank you all for this platform, and we've grown together. And I know you guys want to hear about this, and I know you guys want to hear about that. And it's a little narcissistic, myself included. You have this group of sycophants that think everything you're saying is amazing in these other weird pockets. And like people who are just sitting in their garage and good at this one thing, really, and it's great for them because they think that they're Madonna. In the land of buttons and coffee filter art, they are Madonna. But I'm seeing that it doesn't always translate to other spaces. It doesn't translate to other areas of entertainment. Like all day long, just talking into your camera to these followers, are you talking less to the people in your own life? Are you talking less about other things in the world because you're just this expert on this one thing and you're really only talking about this one thing? And it makes me realize that. So someone said today I'm on food TikTok a lot. I said, what does that mean? Because there's a thing when the people do, I think, a drug called like ketamine or something, or like it's like ecstasy or something. It's called a K-hole, I think. They get into some like stuck in some vortex. And so on TikTok, I see things because I've been talking about makeup, like glamour sham. I think it's an absolute scam. A lot of the glamour business. I'm going to get into that. But so I've been talking about, because of course we have fucking witnesses and aliens in our phone that listen to what we're saying. So now I'm getting a lot of makeup stuff. Last week it was Will Smith. The week before it was the Kardashians. I mean, it's all the interesting things in the world going on in my stupid life. Ukraine was the only thing on my phone because of all our relief efforts. So I'm in glam TikTok, Will Smith TikTok, Ukraine TikTok. So someone said they're in food talk. So we all go down these holes, and like you're seeing something that other people don't see. Like in Stranger Things, they go into the upside down. I'm in the upside down. I'm in a hole that you're not in. It's so crazy if you really think about it. Like we're not watching the same show. My daughter will look into my phone like she's been hypnotized by aliens, the body snatchers, her eyes circling, watching something on my phone that has nothing to do with her because it's like sucking her in like soap operas. You ever walk up to a fucking television when a soap opera's on? You have nothing to do with it. You've never seen it. You don't know who these fucking people are. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, Gina's never going to speak to Rick again because he had sex with a nurse who came back to life 4 times. And now you're standing there staring at the television, or like Dora the Explorer, whatever it is. We get sucked in, so we're in these holes. So I guess maybe you got to like change your TikTok hole to figure out where the fuck you're supposed to be, or learn some other stuff. But I feel like we're getting like entranced. It's crazy. Okay, many people in my hole of TikTok are talking about Kim Kardashian's child, Northwest, meeting Pete Davidson. Now, I don't know why I know she met Pete Davidson, but presumably because it was not inside someone's home. So it was sort of a public event, or there was the ability for a photographer to take a picture. So I've publicly said Kanye needs to pay attention to the court of law and not play to the court of public opinion. So he now has said he's going to get help. He's not going to make threats. He's not going to do these crazy Instagram posts anymore. He's making amends. But we are going to say, for argument's sake, it's been proven, or the benefit of the doubt, that he has some mental illness or something is off, okay? He's struggling. The very worst case, he's absolutely struggling with a breakup. And it's Kim has had a problem with this, and she has pleaded and wanted him to stop. So why would Kim allow her child to publicly meet another public person when we're dealing with someone who's had some struggles emotionally, spiritually, financially with his career, publicly? There's a thing that goes on in divorces that's taunting, and it happens. Okay. There's parental alienation. People talk about, there are all these different terms, harassment, stalking, those words were thrown around. Taunting is a real thing. Like, you do not poke a bear in the zoo in a divorce. If you have somebody who's said, you're never going to meet my kids, Pete will never meet my kids, a meeting with a person who has acres and acres of security. And by the way, no matter how famous you are, I can promise you, because I do know some pretty famous people, you can always stay private. And I mean, always. I have heard, you can ask any real publicist, ask any successful publicist who represents real famous people. They will say 99.999% of celebrities call the paparazzi, which was a shocking number to me. So also, if you go to a certain yogurt store, if you go to Air One in LA, you go to the Ivy, you go out of your house, you're going to get papped. If you stay inside your house, you're not going to get papped. If you go at 7 o'clock in the morning, the paparazzi are very lazy. They're not up at 6 o'clock in the morning. They're sleeping, okay? I know because years ago they used to come to my daughter's school, etc. And they're like bats. They have specific hours. And ask paparazzi the truth. They're not up at 6 o'clock in the morning. They're not up in torrential storms. Yes, Kim Kardashian fetches a serious price, but you can absolutely avoid the media. So how do you take your child to meet a new person? You're so happy. You're doing so well. You're madly in love. Everything's going good. It's been a couple of months. It is absolutely your business, your body, your choice to introduce whoever you want to in your own life. But you have a man who's your ex who's caused you all these problems and is struggling. And you're literally putting a stake in the middle of a highway for a dog to run right in the middle of traffic and get hit. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't seem wise. It feels like subconscious or subtle taunting. So I just don't understand that choice. And I don't understand the choice of Pete Davidson. I never mentioned that I thought it was ridiculous that he took the bait, also dealing with mental illness, and saying I'm in bed with your wife. Like, that shows someone's age. That's immature. That's taunting too. I'm in bed with your wife. Like, that's called come at me, bruh. That's what that's saying. So having someone else's, a man knows, this is real. My fiance has known my daughter for years. He will not talk to her on a Zoom if she's home at her father's house. That's personal information. It would not hurt anybody, but he will not talk to her because he doesn't disrespect that boundary. Like, he doesn't want to make her feel uncomfortable. It's that too. Children feel it all. They're torn. He doesn't want to make her feel uncomfortable. So he always knew his place. And he wanted to respect. A man respects another man's turf and another man's child. And particularly in this inflated, heated circumstance, I cannot think of a reason why Pete Davidson would have another man's daughter outside in public on his lap. That's taunting. So, and I'm not an expert on everything. I'm an expert on divorce, on stalking, harassment, taunting, the courts, appeals, custody, child support. I am an expert. My lawyers would say I'm an expert. The judge would say I'm an expert. I am an expert. So I just think that is just poking a bear in the zoo and a person who has admittedly been taken down. So I don't think that's cool. And I don't think that's smart. And there's always a way. Chris Rock could have been wrong in talking about Jada's hair because of the alopecia that they say he knew about. Will Smith made that go away, and Chris Rock is the most right, and Will Smith was made to be egregious and wrong. Well, Kanye has been so wrong in publicly, doing harassing behavior, exhibiting harassing behavior, and doing all of these crazy things. Well, I think Pete and Kim just made themselves wrong. That's what I think. So I always say, don't hate the player, hate the game. This social media thing is challenging because I've got $150 to $200 million relief effort going on in Ukraine right now. And I don't post about it every day because it turns people off, because people don't want to hear about the bad news going on in the world, which I do understand. People want to escape. But if I post a picture of myself in a sexy outfit, I don't filter myself, but if I post myself in a sexy outfit made up and contoured from a makeup artist and my hair done with an inch of my life, that sells. If I post about people in the hospital with medical equipment that Be Strong raised money for, that will get 1/8 of the views and the likes. So no wonder people are posting their ass cracks and their tits hanging out, because this is one of the things that's gone on. Like, things that are important aren't important anymore. Like, it's gotta be that a picture of me looking like a fucking fake doll is less important than hospitals in Ukraine using the medical equipment that we've donated money for. And it's just, the world's upside down. And I honestly, that's why everybody's in such a competition with each other, because everybody's trying to get noticed everywhere. Nothing matters anymore if you're not half naked, if you're not showing off all the money you have, the private plane you have, the bags you bought, you know, your kid's smarter than somebody else, and look at what we have. It's just getting really gross and superficial. Everything seems like fake and bullshit. I've said before, filter it all. If you can just filter every fucking inch of your body and your face and your life, and why not just filter every part of your life? So like, we're getting faker and grosser by the minute. And my posting about something that's more important than anything in the world, people's lives that are lost, that are dying, with children that are orphans, that are going to be trafficked, okay? If they don't get out of there, we're extracting orphans. Nobody fucking cares, because the headlines have faded, and celebrities are a bunch of bullshit. They post for a week, put a link up, pray for Ukraine, I stand with Ukraine. You don't stand with Ukraine. You posted a flag because it's cool that week. You posted a link. You have no idea where that money's going to. You don't know that org. You just want to keep up with the Joneses by posting because you look tone deaf if you don't post about your fucking makeup line. And then the next week, it's business as usual. And it's impossible, because I have to do the stupid superficial pics so that people stay tuned. So when I want to post a picture about aid and orphans and people getting helped, you could just get some awareness and raise some money. So it's getting disgusting. And that's honestly how I feel. And I don't know how it stops. I really don't. It's us as the consumer that have to change. We're consuming all of this content. I've started doing a beauty or bust, glam or sham series on TikTok, because you see all these people, these influencers with their faces, they're putting brown lines all over their face, like they're coloring themselves like clowns, blending it in, 40 pounds caked on, makeup on makeup on makeup, on concealer, on highlighter, on beat down powder, like crazy shit, right? They're all experts, and they're telling you to buy all the shit. And I see girls in small apartments they could probably not afford, rent to rent, paycheck to paycheck, opening up these boxes of fucking makeup like it's going to change their lives. I am on television, and I had such a small amount of makeup, and it was working just fine. And I know it works just as well as this expensive shit. So I started now spending money to buy it all, to debunk all this expensive stuff. So I'm doing like expensive versus low, and some expensive things are worth it. But guess what? We're all such fucking pawns and such pansies. We just go on and we just grab whatever it is, and we'll buy whatever they're selling, and we're just absorbing all of this content. We're absorbing every filter, every contour, every product, every blush, every vacation, every bag, everything, all this luxury. We're just getting full until we're going to get sick on it. But we're not absorbing things that really matter.